Oh, come on, this guy again?
Christian here with cheap beat up Elvis vinyl. First of all, I'd like to say happy St. Patrick's Day to all of my Irish friends out there. My mom's 100% Irish, so I've always got that going for me. And so to all the Irish out there, Erin go braless. Also, Daisy wants to say hello. Here she is. She's wearing her little recovery suit this time because she went to the vet this week and apparently none of her baby teeth had fallen out. So they had to remove 14 teeth. She only had 12, so they removed 14. So she's feeling better now, eating softer food. Also, a buddy of mine down here, he runs he does a little run every year. It's called the Elvis Run. And they do the t-shirts, and here it is right here, Elvis Lives 2023. He was nice enough to give me one. Really cool, man. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I love the colors. They're very 50s. They take all the money, give it to a charity. I think it's Children's Hospital. This week, I was pleasantly surprised. Picked up a few records, had no expectations. Went into this nice little place in Bay St. Louis called Good Earth Records. I've been there before, real nice place. The owner's real cool. I think I picked up a single, maybe two singles there before. So I went up there, looked around, no new albums. And he says, well, I still have I got the single box up front, but you've looked through that before. I said, better let me take a look at it. You never know, you might have put something in there that you didn't realize. He goes, yeah, okay. So I go over there, sure enough. Picked up a real nice copy here. Well, nice copy to me. Cheap beat up Elvis vinyl. Nice copy of Jailhouse Rock. All the ones I picked up, I think they were $2, $2.50 each. This is just such a beautiful record. Treat Me Nice, Jailhouse Rock. Whenever you see these little things here, what I do to keep my records, just to identify the records, I take old business cards and flip them over and then write the name of the record, when it came out, anything that might be interesting in it. So Jailhouse Rock, September 57. And that way, when I'm flipping through, I don't have to wonder when it came out. Really like this one. So it just looks fantastic. I love it. Also picked up this one. I already had a copy of this, but the reason I picked this one up is only the second time I've ever seen it in the wild. And I just love it. Now, if you notice, this one came out in April of '60. It was Elvis's first single that was released when he got out of the Army. You see, it's got a hole cut in the middle, so you see the record. But it's interesting that nowhere on the record sleeve, front or back, does it have the name, the titles of the records. It says Elvis's first new recording for his 50 million fans all over the world. A couple of pictures of Elvis, then they flip the pictures, flip the colors on the back. No listing of the titles. I wonder if RCA just printed up a ton of these sleeves before they even knew what the record was going to be, and just had them sitting there because they knew they were going to sell a ton, so they had to print up a ton of them. So maybe they got a little bit ahead of the game and had them sitting there just waiting for the record to come in, stuff the record in, send it out. Got yourself a Elvis sale. So I like that one. One of my favorites. Also, 3 in a row that I already had. But my copy of this is really, it messes with my OCD because it's bent. The cover is bent. Like, it must have rode in a stack of records and it's bent like 2 or 3 times, so it's kind of stepped up and I can't get it flat and it bothers me. So I saw this one, cheap, picked it up. Feel So Bad, Wild in the Country. They also have some cryptic writing on here. It says V3N4A3. You see that? I'm thinking that might be the combination to a safe. So I'm going to memorize that, and every time I run across a safe, I'll try that combo. Who knows? Next one up, bringing it back on the tan label. Now, this was the last Elvis single that was released on an orange label, and then they did some of these tans. Didn't have a picture sleeve, but whenever I see the tan labels or the red labels or the orange, I usually just pick them up, especially if they're cheap like this. This might have been $1. Yeah, it was $1. So I'll put it on the side, and if I run across that cover, there you go. Same thing with these red labels. Now this one I did not have. Kissing Cousins, baby. I always did like that song. I think I saw that movie at the drive-in theater with my parents. My parents would take us to the drive-in theater. Man, that was a cool experience, seeing Elvis at the drive-in. And we'd be coming home, and my older sister would be conked out in the back, and my parents said I would be hanging over the, no seatbelts in those days, I'd be hanging over the seat, the bench seat into the front, yapping about the Elvis movie. Hey, did you see that? Did you notice I did that? You saw he had a cap. So, just loving life, having a great time. St. Bernard Drive-In. Huh, Johnny? You remember that? Anyway, Kissin' Cousins came out in 1970. Red labels, as you remember, don't have a picture sleeve, so when you get one, you're finished. I don't think they came in these red sleeves, but it looks so cool, I always put them in the red sleeves. And when I'm at places and they have a ton of sleeves, I go through the sleeves, pull out all the red RCA sleeves. You get them for like free or a nickel, and then you just put them on the side and wait. Same thing with this one. Don't cry, Daddy. I didn't have this one. Put it in a red sleeve. We're done. This one came out in December 1970. Now here you go. Here's an EP. When I see the EPs without a cover, if they're cheap, like this one for $1, I pick them up and I just keep them at home. And then sure enough, sometimes I do run into EP sleeves that are empty, and you get them super cheap. So I picked this one up. This one was Elvis Sings Christmas album, and this is the 68 repress of it on the orange label. So I'll just put it on the side and hold on to it. Also, not at Good Earth. I picked this one up the same week at another place, and this is the November 57 release of the same one, Elvis Sings Christmas Songs. So I got 2 of them just sitting there waiting for an empty cover. Now, I did make a mistake. When I was in Good Earth, the guy had 2 empty EP covers. One was for maybe volume 1 of the Gold Standard Hits. I can't remember what the other one was. 2 empty EP covers. I had them both. But for some reason I passed. I don't know why. I just blanked. I could have probably got them for $1 and put them on the side, just like I'm saying. You got a blank record. You got a record with no cover. You got a cover with no record. I don't know what I was thinking. Stupid. This one is my favorite that I picked up. Elvis Life. I'd never seen this before. To the point that when I saw it, I thought maybe it was one of those reprints that they did when they would put out like a box set, a little box with some Elvis 45s in it, and they'd repress. Or I thought maybe this is one that came out after he had passed away. But then I saw right here, it said, coming soon, Elvis's new album, Love Letters from Elvis. And then in the back it says, now available, Elvis's Camden Sacred Album. I love how they called them the Sacred Albums. And as you see, this one came out in May of 1971. There you go. And it is orange label right there. Really like this one. This was my pick of the day. Love it. So I got a bunch of records. Didn't spend a bunch of money. Had a blast. If you're enjoying the video and you're not already subscribed, there's a little button, I think, right here. And you just hit it and subscribe. Zoink. And you can join the 850 other million subscribers that we have. Actual numbers may vary. Also want to say special how you doing to our buddy TCB since 73. I see that you're feeling better. God bless you, brother. Enjoy your channel. I really love it. Also want to say a special hello to a fella named Mark Lacam or Lacam. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your last name. But he watched all the videos this week in a row, 29 of them, and said he really enjoyed it. He's over in the UK, and I was really flattered. That was really cool. And he said that he enjoyed them and chuckled a few times. So, hey, mission accomplished. Just want to talk about Elvis here, hang out a little bit, look at some old records, maybe have a laugh or two, and that's more than we can hope for. So remember, we've had plenty of presidents here, bunch of governors, had some guys that rode bikes and they jump them and spin them. It's really something. Saw a guy that played ping pong really good one time down at the community center. Had all that kind of stuff going on in this country, but we've only had one king, baby. Thank you, Elvis.
Okay, fine.